Good morning, class, and happy Monday. I hope you all had a good weekend, and now we're getting back to work on our understanding scripture and our scripture class, and now we're up to chapter 26. Now, before I get into the chapter, I want to remind you that the work for chapter 25 is due on Thursday. And the reason for that is because I didn't post it correctly, so I apologize for that. So the work for chapter 25 is due on Thursday, and that is up on RenWeb, and it's also on the video from the last time. And then this chapter information will be due on Friday. So, or I'm sorry, scratch that. It'll be new next Monday, a week from today. So you have 1 week to do chapter 26. You have to Thursday to do chapter 25. I've enjoyed reading what you've written. Please follow the directions. Some people are losing a few points because they write things that are very good but not exactly on point. Also, if you turn in work late, you lose 10 points. So please try to get it in on time. But many of you are doing very well, and I appreciate the work that you're putting into this. In our discussions about the early church, the one factor that's a big factor that comes in is the controversy in the early church over whether Gentiles had to become Christians first. This was the major focus of the Council of Jerusalem, and whether the Gentiles need to be first convert to Judaism and be circumcised before they can become Christians. This was the big controversy that was around the ministry of St. Paul. St. Paul went to the Greeks, who were what he calls the Greeks, which were the non-Jewish people, and he was called the apostle to the Gentiles. In chapter 26, we're going to focus on the teaching of St. Paul and on some aspects of who St. Paul was. So I would encourage you to read the chapter, of course, and then turning your study questions, again in full sentences, please. And then read the Bible verses, which are Acts 22, 1 to 29, and 2 Corinthians 11, 1 to 12, 13. And that's in your textbook, so read those scripture passages. And the question that I'd like you to answer in an essay form are two. One is, why was St. Paul uniquely qualified for his mission to the Gentiles? What makes St. Paul so special? Why was he qualified, probably above anybody else, to become the apostle to the Gentiles? And then, what does St. Paul mean by the law and by justification? The law and justification. What was his view of the law? What was his view, and what does he mean when he talks about justification? So those are the two major themes in this chapter that I'd like you to write, and again, write 4 or 5 paragraphs answering both of these questions. And if you can submit it in homework drop, that's fine. And hopefully we will keep moving. Next week I will have we're not going to have a final exam that you would take as a written exam. We're going to have a project. And I'll have that information for you next week. That's all I have for right now. God bless you all. Be well. And I hope to hear from all of you. There are still a few people that I'm not hearing from regularly. Most people I'm hearing from all the time, and you're doing very well. God bless you all, and be well.